Sophie Martinez had 3 rules for surviving corporate buildings. Avoid the break room coffee, never make eye contact in the elevator, and absolutely never speak to James Whitmore. The first 2 were easy. The third one required dedication. 2 years of dedication, 2 years of perfecting her death glare, 2 years of hostile silence every time they shared an elevator, 2 years of him not noticing she existed. Before we begin, let us know in the comments what city you're watching from. And at the end, don't forget to rate this story from 0 to 10. Enjoy the story. It was Friday. 4:45. Sophie was leaving exactly on time because staying late would mean risking another elevator encounter. She walked through the Whitmore Tower lobby with purpose. Head down, bag on shoulder, freedom in sight. Then she saw him, James Whitmore, owner of the building, owner of 12 buildings actually, billionaire, real estate mogul. The man who had personally ruined her life 18 months ago. He was standing near the elevator bank, phone pressed to his ear, suit that probably cost more than her monthly rent. Dark hair slightly messy like he'd been running his hands through it. Jaw sharp enough to cut glass. Eyes that never seemed to actually see people. She should have taken the stairs, but it was 12 floors, and she was wearing heels, and she was an adult who refused to let one arrogant billionaire control her elevator usage. She pressed the button. The doors opened immediately. Empty elevator. Perfect. She stepped inside, pressed 12. The doors started to close. A hand shot through. The doors bounced open. James Whitmore stepped in. Still on his phone. Still not looking at her. "I don't care what the contractors say," he said into his phone. "The permits are filed. They can start Monday." Sophie moved to the far corner, positioned herself at the perfect angle, death glare ready. He pressed 30. Top floor, of course. Then he leaned against the side, wall, completely oblivious to her existence. She glared harder. Nothing. 2 years. 2 years of hostile energy, and he genuinely had no idea who she was. The elevator started moving. She whispered to herself, barely audible. 3 more floors, just 3 more floors, then I never have to see his face again today. "I can hear you," he said. Sophie's heart stopped. Her eyes went wide. He was looking at her now. Actually looking at her, for the first time in 2 years. "I said I can hear you," he repeated. His voice was different off the phone, quieter, confused. "Of course you can," she muttered. The elevator continued up. Floor 5, floor 6. He was still staring at her. "Have we met?" he asked. She blinked. "Are you serious right now?" "I'm sorry, He looked genuinely confused. "Do you work in the building?" "For 2 years. "Oh." He straightened slightly. "I'm sorry, I don't think we've been introduced. I'm a wow. I know who you are." "Right." He shifted his weight. Uncomfortable. "And you're someone who's been riding this elevator with you for 2 years. "I apologize. I'm usually distracted, work calls. I don't really..." He trailed off. "Wait. Why did you say you never want to see my face again?" Sophie opened her mouth to answer. The elevator lurched, hard. Her stomach dropped. The lights flickered, once, twice, then went completely dark. Emergency lights kicked in, dim, red, ominous. The elevator was completely still. "No," she whispered. "No, no, no, no." James was pressing buttons, all of them, repeatedly. Nothing happened. "Come on," he muttered. "Press, press, press, come on." Sophie pulled out her phone. No signal. Of course, metal box, 12 floors up, no signal. James found the emergency intercom, pressed the button. "Hello?" A crackling voice. Building maintenance. "This is Rodriguez. We're aware of the situation. Power outage hit the whole building." "How long?" James asked. His voice was tight. "Working on it." Generators are starting up, but it's going to take time. Estimate 3 hours for full power restoration. Sophie's blood went cold. 3 hours? Yes, ma'am. We'll have you out as soon as possible. Are you both okay? We're fine, James said, but his voice didn't sound fine. Sit tight, we'll keep you updated. The intercom went silent. Sophie looked at James. He was still pressing buttons, his breathing was getting faster. 3 hours, she said. 3 hours. I heard him? James pressed more buttons. None of them did anything. This is a nightmare. It's fine, it's completely fine. He was talking more to himself than to her. We just have to wait, that's all, just wait. She studied him more closely. His hand on the button panel was shaking slightly. His jaw was clenched. His eyes were wide. Are you okay? She asked. Fine. You don't look fine. I'm fine. But he pulled at his collar. It's just warm. It's warm in here, right? It's not warm. His breathing was definitely faster now. Short, shallow. His other hand pressed against the wall like he needed support. Sophie recognized a panic attack when she saw one. She moved closer. Hey, look at me. I'm fine. You're having a panic attack. I'm not, He stopped, tried to breathe, couldn't quite manage it. She put her hand on his arm. Look at me. Right now. Look at me. He did. His eyes met hers. Panic written all over his face. Breathe with me, she said. In for 4, ready? In 2, 3, 4. He tried to follow. Hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. Now out for 4, 2, 3, 4. They repeated it. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. His breathing started to slow. The panic in his eyes faded slightly. Better? She asked. He nodded, then seemed to realize she was touching his arm. She pulled her hand back. Thank you, he said quietly. You're claustrophobic. Mildly. That was not mild. He slid down the wall, sat on the elevator floor, put his head in his hands. This is humiliating. Sophie stood there, arms crossed, looking down at him. This was the man she'd hated for 18 months, the man who ruined her lunch routine, the man who'd been so arrogant he didn't even notice her death glare, and he was sitting on an elevator floor having a panic attack. She sighed, sat down across from him, backs against opposite walls. So, she said, and claustrophobic. Apparently. He looked up at her. I avoid situations, I take the stairs sometimes, but today I was distracted. The phone call. Always the phone call. He managed a weak smile. Thank you for helping, you didn't have to. I considered letting you pass out. Why didn't you? Basic human decency barely won over my intense dislike of you. He blinked. You really don't like me. Really don't. We've never met. I'm aware. So. He looked completely baffled. Why? Sophie leaned her head back against the wall. You got my food truck banned. Silence. I'm sorry, what? My food truck. The one in the plaza. Best lunch in the entire city. It was there every weekday. 11:30 to 2. I went every single day for 6 months. Every single day. It was the one good thing about working in this building. Okay. And then one day, email from building management. The food truck was banned. No explanation, no warning, just banned. And you know who signs off on everything related to this plaza? He was staring at her. Me. You. And you've been, what? Glaring at me? For 18 months. I had no idea. I'm aware of that too, which honestly makes it worse. You ruined my life and didn't even notice. I didn't ruin your life, it was a food truck. Her eyes went cold. It was my food truck. It was tacos. They were really good tacos. He looked like he was trying very hard not to laugh. Let me get this straight. We've never actually spoken. I don't know your name. And you've hated me for a year and a half because of lunch? 18 months. And yes, that's... He stopped himself. Say it. That's impressively petty. Thank you. I work hard at my grudges. He did laugh then, quiet, surprised, like he hadn't expected to. This is the most surreal conversation I've ever had. We're trapped in an elevator. Surreal is appropriate. Fair point. He stretched his legs out in front of him. They were long. The elevator suddenly felt very small. So, 18 months of death glares and I never noticed. You're very unobservant. I'm starting to realize that. He looked at her, really looked at her. What's your name? Sophie Martinez. Sophie. He said it like he was testing it out. I'm James. I know. Right, everyone knows. He ran a hand through his hair. Floor 12? Floor 12. What do you do? Graphic designer, Meridian Creative. Good company. It's fine. They sat in silence for a moment. The emergency lights cast everything in red shadows. The elevator was perfectly still. No sound except their breathing. So, James said carefully, about the food truck. I don't want to talk about it. I think we should. I think we should sit in hostile silence for the next 3 hours. I'm mildly claustrophobic. I need distraction. If you want me to not panic again, you have to keep talking. She looked at him. He looked back. Steady, honest. That's manipulative, she said. It's survival. She sighed. Fine. What do you want to know? Why that food truck specifically? Because it was perfect. The tacos were perfect. The timing was perfect. It was the 1 hour of my day where I wasn't staring at a computer screen designing corporate logos I don't care about. It was sunshine and good food and feeling like a human instead of a design machine. He was quiet for a moment. That's not about tacos. No, it's about having one good thing. And you took it away. I didn't mean to. Doesn't matter, you did. More silence. She could feel his eyes on her. Do you ever notice the art in the lobby? He asked suddenly. Sophie's heart skipped. What? The illustrations. On the bulletin board by the elevators. Someone's been putting them up for over a year. Beautiful little drawings. Pen and ink. Sometimes watercolor. Yeah, it's fine. Fine? He leaned forward slightly. It's beautiful. I look for it every morning. It's the first thing I do when I walk into the building. Check to see if there's something new. That's... She shifted uncomfortably. That's nice. Whoever makes it understands something I don't. Joy, maybe. Or hope. I see those drawings and I think there's still beauty in the world. Does that sound ridiculous? No. Her voice was quiet. It doesn't sound ridiculous. I'd hire them in a second if I knew who they were. Put their work in every building I own, but they're anonymous, no signature, just these perfect little pieces of art, and then they disappear into the building somewhere. Sophie was very carefully not looking at him. Maybe they like being anonymous. Maybe. But I'd still like to say thank you. He smiled. It's the only thing in my day that feels human. The only thing that's not about money or deals or buildings, just art. Just beauty. She needed to change the subject. Now. How long has it been? He checked his phone. 20 minutes. 2 hours and 40 minutes to go. We should probably keep talking. Probably. Tell me something, he said. Something real. Why do you work at a job you don't care about? Because jobs that pay student loans don't care if you love them. Why do you walk around distracted all the time? Because if I pay attention, I remember how lonely everything is. The honesty hit her like a punch. She looked at him. He looked back. No walls, just truth. That's depressing, she said softly. It's honest. Still depressing. Your turn. Why? Graphic design if you hate it? I don't hate it, I'm just not in love with it. I wanted to be an artist. Real art. But art doesn't pay bills, design does. So here I am, 12 floors up in a corporate tower, making logos, living the dream. Are you an artist? He asked. Used to be. What happened? Life happened. Responsibilities happened. My brother's in college. Someone has to help pay for that. So I design, and I live, and I pretend I don't miss making real art. That's depressing too? Told you we're depressing together. He smiled. A real smile. Trapped in an elevator with a stranger who hates me. Having the most honest conversation I've had in years. Funny how that works. Is it working? The distraction? She looked at him. He looked calmer, more present, less terrified. It's working, she said. The intercom crackled. Update, Rodriguez said. Still working on power, 2 hours remaining. You both still okay? We're fine, Sophie called back. Hanging in there, James added. The intercom went silent again. 2 hours. 2 more hours sitting on an elevator floor with James Whitmore. The man she'd hated. The man who was turning out to be not what she expected. So, he said, tell me more about these perfect tacos. Despite herself, Sophie smiled. You really want to know? We have 2 hours and you clearly have opinions. I have many opinions. Then start talking. I'm listening. And in the dim red glow of the emergency lights trapped between floor 8 and floor 9, Sophie Martinez started talking. And James Whitmore listened. Really listened. For the first time in 2 years, he actually saw her. And for the first time in 18 months, she wondered if maybe her grudge had been a mistake. Sophie told him about the tacos, in great detail. The perfectly seasoned carnitas, the handmade tortillas, the cilantro lime crema that was probably illegal in several states because it was too good. He listened. He really listened, asked questions, nodded in the right places. Okay, he said finally. I understand the attachment. Thank you. But you have to admit, 18 months is a long time to hold a grudge over lunch. I'm committed to my grudges. I'm seeing that. She pulled her knees up, wrapped her arms around them. So why did you do it? Ban the truck? His expression changed. Something flickered across his face. Not anger. Something else. Something that looked like pain. You really want to know? He asked. We have 2 hours left, might as well. He was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, I'm severely allergic to shellfish. Sophie blinked. Okay? The food truck had a shrimp taco on the menu. The vendor swore they kept everything separate. Different cutting boards, different gloves, different pans. But one day, he stopped, swallowed. One day I ordered the carnitas. Regular carnitas, nothing with shellfish. What happened? Cross-contamination, trace out amounts, but that's all it takes. His voice was flat, matter of fact. My throat started closing. Right there in the plaza, in front of everyone. I couldn't breathe, couldn't talk. I remember thinking I was going to die on the sidewalk in front of my own building. Sophie's mouth went dry. James. Someone called an ambulance. My assistant had an EpiPen. Thank God she stabbed me with it right there on the concrete. I remember people standing around, watching, taking pictures probably. The great James Whitmore dying over a taco. That's not funny. It's a little funny. It's not. He looked at her. I was in the hospital for 6 hours, observation, making sure the reaction was fully stopped. And the entire time all I could think was how humiliating it was, how weak. The CEO who can't even eat lunch without almost dying. That's not weakness. That's an allergy. Tell that to the board members who heard about it. Tell that to the business partners who suddenly looked at me differently, like I was fragile, breakable. Sophie was quiet, processing. So I banned the truck, he continued. Sent an email, no explanation. I was too embarrassed to say why, too proud to admit I almost died over street food. You could have just told them to remove the shrimp tacos. I could have, but I was angry and scared, and I wanted it gone, so I made it gone. And I've been hating you for 18 months over something that almost killed you. In your defense, you didn't know. That doesn't make me feel better. It should. You had incomplete information. You made a reasonable assumption based on what you knew. That I'm an arrogant billionaire who bans things on a whim. Are you? She asked. Arrogant? He considered it. Probably a little, but not about the food truck. She put her head in her hands, whispered to herself. He's human. That's inconvenient. This was easier when he was just evil. I heard that, he said gently. I know you did. She looked up at him. I'm sorry for hating you, for the death glares, for all of it. Don't apologize for the death glares. I'm impressed by your commitment. 2 years of glaring, and you never noticed. I'm a terrible person. You're an oblivious person. That too, he smiled. So, we've established I'm oblivious and you're committed to grudges. What else should I know about Sophie Martinez, graphic designer, floor 12 taco enthusiast? She laughed despite herself. That's a depressing biography. Then make it better. Tell me something real. I have a brother, Daniel. He's 20. Junior at State, studying engineering. He's brilliant, way smarter than me. I doubt that. It's true he got a full ride on academics, but full ride doesn't cover everything, books, housing, food, so I help. That's why I'm at Meridian. That's why I don't take risks on the real art thing. Because he needs me to be stable. That's not depressing, that's love. It's practical. It's both. She looked at him. He looked back. Something in his expression was different now, softer, like he was seeing past the elevator and the grudge and the hostile silence. Seeing her. Your turn, she said. Tell me something real. I took over my father's company when I was 23. That's young. He died, heart attack, sudden. One day he was there, the next day he wasn't. And suddenly I'm running a company with 200 employees and I have no idea what I'm doing. That's terrifying. It was. It is. Every single day I feel like I'm pretending, like someone's going to figure out I don't actually know anything and take it all away. But you grew it. 12 buildings now. 12 buildings, 2 billion in assets. And I walk into the lobby every morning feeling like a kid playing dress-up in his father's suit. She studied him. The expensive suit, the perfect hair, the face that belonged on magazine covers. You don't look like a kid. I feel like one. Is that why you walk around on the phone all the time? Why you don't notice people? Probably. If I'm busy, I don't have to think about how lonely it all is, how empty. I have 200 employees and no friends. I have billions in real estate and an apartment I'm never in. I have everything and nothing at the same time. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard. It's honest. Still sad. They sat in silence. The kind of silence that wasn't uncomfortable. The kind where both people were thinking and that was okay. The lobby art, he said suddenly. That's why I love it so much. Because whoever makes it still has something I lost. Joy, creativity, the ability to make something beautiful just because it's beautiful. Not because it's profitable or strategic or necessary. Just because. Sophie's chest tightened. James, I know it's pathetic. A billionaire getting emotional over bulletin board drawings. But I can't help it. Every morning I look for new ones and look for new. When there's something new, I feel like someone out there still believes in beauty. And maybe that means I can too. She needed to tell him. Right now. She should tell him. What if, she started. What if what? Nothing. Never mind. He leaned forward slightly. Sophie, what were you going to say? Just that whoever makes that art probably doesn't realize how much it matters to people. I hope they do, I hope they know. He smiled. Sorry, I'm being intense about drawings. No, it's sweet. Sweet. Don't let it go to your head. You're still the man who banned my food truck. Our food truck. It almost killed me. I think I have partial ownership of the grudge now. She laughed. That's not how grudges work. How do they work? You can't share a grudge with the person you're holding it against. That's chaos. I like chaos. Clearly, you just told a stranger your entire life story in an elevator. You're not really a stranger anymore. We've known each other for 45 minutes. 47. And I know more about you than I know about most people. That's depressing. Or it's nice. She looked at him. He was sitting with his back against the wall, long legs stretched out, tie slightly loosened, hair still messy from running his hands through it, face calm now, no more panic, just present, actually there. You're not what I expected, she said quietly. What did you expect? Cold, arrogant, soulless corporate robot. Ah, the robot accusation. You do have robot tendencies. Such as, you don't smile, you walk around like you're computing. You probably send emails at 3 a.m. I do send emails at 3 a.m. See? Robot. Robots don't have panic attacks in elevators. Advanced robot. With feelings. Very sophisticated model. He laughed. Real laughter. The kind that changed his whole face. I haven't laughed like this in months. You need better friends. I need friends, period. That's also depressing. We're very depressing together. We really are. The intercom crackled. Update, Rodriguez said. 1 hour remaining. Still okay in there? We're fine, Sophie called back. Surprisingly fine, James added. The intercom went silent. 1 hour, one more hour, and the elevator would move. And they'd go back to their separate floors, separate lives. She'd be the graphic designer on 12. He'd be the owner who never noticed anything. Except now he noticed her. 1 hour, he said. I heard. Time's moving fast. Is it? She checked her phone. We've been in here for 2 hours and 7 minutes. That doesn't feel fast. It does to me. 2.5 hours felt like, I don't know, like 3 minutes. Something in his voice made her look up. He was watching her, not in a creepy way, in a focused way, like she was suddenly the most interesting thing in the elevator. What? She asked. Nothing? You're staring. I'm observing. That's creepy. I'm trying to figure something out. What? Whether you're actually glaring at me or if that's just your face. She threw a pen at him. From her purse. It bounced off his shoulder. Definitely glaring, he said. You're annoying. You threw a pen at a man trapped in an elevator with you. That feels aggressive. You deserved it. For observing? For existing. Now who's mean? She smiled despite herself. I'm reconsidering my grudge. Only reconsidering? It was 18 months. I can't just drop it in 2 hours. 2 hours and 7 minutes. Don't correct me. Sorry. Advanced robot. I compute time precisely. She rolled her eyes, but she was smiling. And he was smiling. And the elevator suddenly felt very small in a completely different way than before. Sophie, he said. What? When we get out of here, can I take you to coffee or dinner or back to that food truck you loved so much? The food truck is banned, remember? Then coffee. Tomorrow, just us, outside this elevator. He was looking at her, nervous. Actually nervous. The CEO mask completely gone. And maybe... He stopped, started again. Maybe dinner too, if coffee goes well. I mean, there's a restaurant. I thought we could... If you want to. He stopped, laughed at himself. I'm usually better at complete sentences. She was trying not to smile. Are you nervous? Terrified. The billionaire CEO is nervous about asking me to dinner? The billionaire CEO is nervous about everything when it comes to you. That's... She stopped. That's really sweet, actually. So is that a yes? To coffee and maybe dinner? She should say no. She should maintain the grudge. She should keep her distance from billionaire building owners who walked around distracted and didn't notice people. Yes, she said. His smile got wider. Yes? Don't make me regret it. I'll try not to. And you have to actually look at me, no phone calls, no distractions. Deal. And you can't fire me later for throwing a pen at you. I don't have the authority to fire you. You don't work for me. You own the building. You could probably make it happen. I won't make it happen, I promise. They were both smiling now, sitting on an elevator floor, emergency lights glowing red. 2 hours ago, she hated him. Now she was agreeing to coffee and dinner. Maybe. This is insane, she whispered to herself. This is completely insane. I'm agreeing to date the man who banned my food truck. The grudge is dead. I killed my own grudge. That's embarrassing. I can hear you, he said. I know. And it's not embarrassing. It's growth. It's insanity. That too. The elevator lurched slightly, just a tiny movement, then stopped again. Sophie's heart jumped. What was that? Power coming back maybe, testing systems. Already? James checked his phone. 53 minutes left according to Rodriguez. That went fast. Told you. She realized she didn't want it to end. Didn't want the doors to open. Didn't want to go back to floor 12 and her cubicle and her life where James Whitmore didn't know she existed. I don't want to leave, she whispered, too quiet, talking to herself. What? He asked. Nothing. Sophie, what did you say? She looked at him. I said I don't want to leave. This elevator, this conversation, this... whatever this is. Oh. He was very still. I don't want to leave either. That's crazy. We're trapped in a metal box. I know. With emergency lighting and no air circulation. I know. And 2 hours ago I hated you. I know that too. So why don't I want to leave? He moved slightly. Not much. Just enough that he was sitting closer to her. Not touching, but closer. Because for 2 hours we've been honest. No pretending, no corporate faces, just two people talking, and maybe that's rare. It's definitely rare. Then we should do it again tomorrow, coffee, keep us in being honest. What if it doesn't work outside the elevator? Then we'll find another elevator to get stuck in. She laughed. That's not a plan. It's the beginning of one. The elevator lurched again, harder this time. Lights flickered, regular lights, not emergency. Bright white light flooded the space, then darkness again, back to red. Power's definitely coming back, James said. How long do you think? Soon. Neither of them moved. The intercom crackled. 30 minutes remaining, Rodriguez announced. Generators fully engaged. You'll be moving soon. Thank you, Sophie called back. The intercom went silent. 30 minutes. Half an hour and this was over. We should probably stand up, James said. Be ready. Probably. Neither of them moved. Sophie. What? Can I have your phone number? Before the doors open and we're surrounded by people and it's awkward? She pulled out her phone, handed it to him. He typed his number, handed it back. She saved it. James Whitmore. Contact added. Text me, he said, so I have yours. She typed, This is Sophie, the grudge holder. His phone buzzed. He smiled, reading it. Typed back, "This is James, the food truck nemesis." Her phone buzzed. "Coffee tomorrow? 10 a.m.? She replied, "I know a good food truck." "Oh, wait." He laughed out loud. Typed, "Too soon." She wrote, "Perfect timing." They were both smiling, sitting on the floor, texting each other from 3 feet away. "This is ridiculous," she said. "This is perfect." The elevator shuddered. Full lights came on, bright, harsh after the dim emergency lighting. The elevator started moving, slowly, upward. They scrambled to their feet, suddenly awkward, the moment breaking, reality coming back. The elevator stopped at floor 9. Doors stayed closed, then moved again. Floor 10, 11, 12. The doors opened. Lobby, not the floor 12 hallway. They'd been brought down to the main lobby. Building policy, stuck elevators always. Returned to ground floor. The lobby was chaos, building maintenance, security guards, concerned employees. Sophie's colleague Maya was there. Her face lit up when she saw Sophie. James's assistant was there too. A woman in her 40s, looking worried. "Mr. Whitmore, are you okay?" "Fine, Catherine, completely fine." Sophie stepped out of the elevator. Her legs were shaky, 2 hours of sitting on a floor. Maya rushed over. "Oh my God, you were stuck with him?" She whispered the last part, nodding toward James. Sophie glanced back. James was talking to his assistant, explaining he was fine. No injuries, just delayed. "Yeah," Sophie said, "with him." "Are you okay? Did he say anything? Was it weird?" Maya, "What? You've been glaring at that man for 2 years. Were you hostile? Please tell me you were hostile." Sophie watched James. He was looking at his phone. Then he looked up, met her eyes across the lobby, smiled. She smiled back. "No," Sophie said, "I wasn't hostile." "Oh no. Sophie, your face." "What about my face?" "You're smiling. Your hair is a mess. You look like something happened in that elevator. We just talked." "For 2 hours?" 2.5. "About what?" "Life, work, food trucks, everything." Maya grabbed her arm. "Sophie Martinez, you hate that man." "I know. Past tense, you hated that man?" "Maybe." "Oh my God. The elevator broke and so did your grudge." "That's not what happened." "That's exactly what happened. You went in hostile, you came out smiling. That's a rom-com. That's a literal rom-com happening in real life." Sophie's phone buzzed. "James, thank you for not letting me panic, and for the conversation, and for agreeing to coffee. I'll text you tomorrow with a place." She typed back, "You better. I'm giving up a grudge for this. Don't make me regret it." James, "I'll do my best. See you tomorrow, Sophie Martinez." She looked up. He was still across the lobby watching her, waiting to see if she'd respond. She waved, small, awkward. He waved back. Maya leaned in, whispered, "So, still death glaring him?" Sophie laughed despite herself. "The death glare is retired. 2 years of perfecting it, gone in 3 hours. 2.5 hours. Even worse, that's what, 1 hour per year of glaring? The math doesn't work like that. My point stands, your signature move, dead, killed by an elevator. It evolved. Into what? Hard eyes? Into something else. I don't know what yet, but not death glares." Maya grinned. "I'm calling it. The death glare became the love stare. That's character growth." Then his assistant was pulling him toward the exit, talking about schedules, meetings he'd missed, and Sophie was left standing in the lobby with Maya staring at her like she'd grown a second head. "You're texting him," Maya said. "Maybe. You hate him. Hated. Past tense. What happened in that elevator? Honestly, I have no idea, but I think I have a date tomorrow. A date with James Whitmore, the man who banned your food truck. The food truck that almost killed him. What? Long story. Involves shellfish and an ambulance." Maya was speechless, actually speechless. Sophie walked toward the exit, legs still shaky, mind racing. Phone still in her hand. Behind her, she heard Maya call out, "You're going to tell me everything. Everything tomorrow before work." Sophie waved without turning around. Across the lobby, standing near the entrance, Vanessa Pierce watched the entire exchange. Senior designer, Sophie's colleague, the woman who'd been trying to get James Whitmore's attention at every building event for the past 6 months. She watched Sophie leave, watched James glance back one more time before his assistant pulled him toward a waiting car. Vanessa's expression was thoughtful. Calculating. Interesting, she thought. Very interesting. She pulled out her phone, typed a quick message to her work friend. "Did you see that? Sophie Martinez and James Whitmore. Something happened in that elevator." The response came immediately. "Get the details. This is gossip gold." Vanessa smiled, put her phone away, headed back to the elevators. This was going to be fun. Sophie woke up to 17 text messages from Maya. "Maya, I need details." Maya, "All the details." Maya, "You smiled at James Whitmore." Maya, "The James Whitmore." Maya, "The man you've death glared for 2 years." Maya, "I'm coming over." Maya, "Never mind, I'm already here. Open your door." Sophie groaned, rolled out of bed, checked the time, 7:15 on a Saturday morning. She opened her apartment door. Maya was standing there holding 2 coffees and a bag of bagels. "Talk," Maya said, pushing past her into the apartment. "Good morning to you too." "We're past good morning. We're at explain why you looked at James Whitmore like he hung the moon territory." Maya handed her a coffee. "Start from the beginning. The elevator stopped. Then, what?" Sophie sat on her couch, pulled a blanket over her lap. "Then we talked." "For 2.5 hours you just talked?" "Yes." "About what?" "Everything. His father, my brother, the food truck, his panic attack." Maya's eyes went wide. "He had a panic attack?" "He's claustrophobic, mildly." "Okay, not mildly. Very much phobic. I had to talk him through breathing." "So you saw him vulnerable?" "Very vulnerable. And that's when the grudge died." "The grudge died when he explained why he banned the food truck." "Which was?" "He's allergic to shellfish. The truck had cross-contamination. He almost died. Ambulance, EpiPen, the whole thing." Maya was quiet for a moment. "Oh. Yeah, I've been hating him for 18 months over a food truck that almost killed him." "That's awkward. Extremely awkward." "So you apologized and then what?" "Then we kept talking and he asked me to coffee and I said yes." Maya set down her coffee. "Sophie Martinez, you have a date with James Whitmore." "I have coffee with James Whitmore." "That's a date." "It's coffee. It's a date. You're getting dressed up right now, I can tell. You've already tried on 3 outfits." Sophie looked at the pile of clothes on her bed, visible through her open bedroom door. "Maybe." "What time?" 10. "It's 7:15. You have 2 hours and 45 minutes to get ready for coffee with a billionaire who owns the building where you work." When you say it like that, it sounds insane. It is insane. 2 days ago you were perfecting your death glare. Today you're picking out date outfits. Maya grinned. "I love it. This is the best thing that's happened all year." "It's just coffee." "It's never just coffee." Sophie's phone buzzed. "James, good morning. Still on for 10? She smiled before she could stop herself. "You're smiling at your phone," Maya said. "You're in trouble." Sophie typed back, "Still on. Where?" "James, there's a place on 5th, corner of 5th, and Madison. Small, quiet, good coffee. Does that work?" Sophie, "Perfect. See you there." She looked up. Maya was watching her with a knowing expression. "What?" Sophie asked. "You like him. Actually like him, not just, he's not as evil as I thought like him, real like him." "I don't know him well enough to like him." You spent 2.5 hours trapped in an elevator learning everything about him. You know him better than most people know anyone. That's not how it works. That's exactly how it works. Forced proximity, vulnerability, honest conversation. That's how people fall in a... She stopped. Never mind. Say it. No. Maya, say it. That's how people fall in love. But we're not using that word yet. It's way too early. You're at the really like stage. Maybe could see potential stage. I'm at the trying not to overthink stage. Good luck with that. You overthink everything. I know. Maya stood up, grabbed Sophie's hand, pulled her toward the bedroom. Come on, we're finding you an outfit that says I'm casual, but I also look amazing, and I'm definitely not thinking about the elevator. That's very specific. I'm very good at this. 20 minutes later, Sophie was wearing jeans, a soft blue sweater, her good boots, hair down, minimal makeup. Maya stepped back, studied her. Perfect. Approachable but put together, not trying too hard but definitely trying. You're describing every outfit ever. Exactly. It's an art. Maya's expression turned serious. Sophie, are you sure about this? About what? About him. About dropping the grudge this fast. About dating your building's owner. I'm not sure about anything, but I want to find out. Then go find out. Maya hugged her. And text me everything. Everything. I want a play-by-play. That's creepy. I'm invested now. I've been watching you glare at this man for 2 years. I need to know how this ends. It's one coffee date. It's never just coffee. At 9:55, Sophie stood outside a small cafe on 5th. Through the window, she could see James, already inside, at a corner table looking at his phone. He was wearing jeans, a dark sweater, no suit, no tie, no phone pressed to his ear, just him. Sitting, waiting. She took a breath, whispered to herself, "This is fine. It's just coffee with a billionaire who you spent 2 hours trapped with, who saw you cry about tacos. This is completely fine and normal." She pushed open the door. He looked up, saw her, stood up, smiled. That smile. That was new. In the elevator, he'd barely smiled. Now his whole face changed. "Hi," he said. "Hi. You found it okay?" 5th and Madison. Hard to miss. Right. Good. He gestured to the table. "I got us a corner away from people. I thought, I don't know, privacy seemed good." Privacy is good. They sat, both suddenly formal, awkward. The easy conversation from the elevator gone. A waitress appeared. "What can I get you?" A coffee," Sophie said, black." "Same," James said. The waitress left. Silence. "So," Sophie said, so," he repeated. "This is weird. Very weird. We were fine in the elevator. We were trapped in the elevator. We had no choice but to talk. And now we have choices and we're both terrible at them." He laughed. The awkwardness broke slightly. "We are terrible at this. Should we talk about the elevator? We probably should. Or we could pretend it never happened. That feels emotionally unhealthy. It does, but it's easier. Nothing about this is easy." The waitress brought their coffees. Sophie wrapped her hands around the cup. Warm, grounding. "Okay," James said. "Let's start over. Hi, I'm James. I own buildings. I'm terrible at noticing people. I once banned a food truck and almost got death glared to death for 18 months. Sophie smiled. "Hi, I'm Sophie. I design logos I don't care about. I hold grudges for unreasonable amounts of time. I once threw a pen at a man during a power outage. The pen throwing was aggressive. You deserved it." "I did." The awkwardness faded, just like that. Easy again. "Better?" he asked. "Oh, better." "Good, because I've been nervous about this since last night." "You were nervous?" "Terrified. I thought maybe the elevator was a fluke. Maybe we wouldn't actually have anything to talk about in the real world." "And?" And I think we still have things to talk about. We do? We never finished the food truck conversation. You never told me about the cilantro lime crema. She laughed. You remember that? I remember everything you said. Something in the way he said it made her heart skip. That's intense, she said quietly. Too intense. No, just unexpected. Good unexpected or bad unexpected? I'm deciding. He smiled, took a sip of coffee. Take your time. They talked for an hour, then 2 hours. The coffee shop filled up around them. People came and went. Neither of them noticed. He asked about her design work, actually asked. Wanted to know what she liked about it, what she didn't, what she'd change if she could. She asked about his buildings, why real estate, what he loved about it, what kept him up at night. I love transforming spaces, he said, taking something old or broken and making it beautiful again, giving it purpose. That's not what I expected. What did you expect? Money, profit, empire building. Those too. But mostly I like making things better than they were. That's surprisingly sweet for a robot. Advanced robot, with feelings. Very advanced. You're almost passing for human. He was studying her, that focused look again, like she was the only person in the room. Sophie. What? Can I take you to dinner? Real dinner, not just coffee. When? Tuesday? I have meetings all day Monday, but Tuesday I'm free. Tuesday works. Good. He pulled out his phone. Give me your actual number, not just texts. I want to call you. People still call people? I want to hear your voice when I'm not sitting across from you. She stopped. That's really sweet, actually. I have my moments. She gave him her number. He called her right there. Her phone rang. She answered even though he was sitting 2 feet away. Hi, he said into the phone. Hi, she said back. This is ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. They both hung up, both smiling. Tuesday, he said. I'll pick you up at 7. 7 works. And Sophie? Yeah? Thank you for giving me a chance. After 18 months of hating me, I know that's not easy. It's easier than I expected. Good, because I really don't want to mess this up. Then don't. I'll try my best. They left the coffee shop together, walked to the corner. She was going left. He was going right. See you Tuesday, she said. See you Tuesday. Then he did something unexpected. He leaned in, kissed her cheek, soft, quick, then pulled back. Too much? He asked. No, just right. He smiled, started walking, stopped, turned back. Sophie? Yeah? I'm really glad that elevator broke. Me too. She watched him walk away, then pulled out her phone. Maya, how was it? Sophie, good, really good. Maya, details. Sophie, Tuesday, dinner. He kissed my cheek. Maya, I knew it. I called it. You're in a rom-com. You're in a rom-com. Sophie, it's just dinner. Maya, it's never just dinner. Sophie smiled, put her phone away, walked home. Monday morning arrived too fast and too slow at the same time. Sophie walked into Whitmore Tower at 8:30, early. She wanted coffee from the lobby Café C before going up to 12. She walked through the lobby, saw the bulletin board. Her art was still there, 3 pieces, the ones she'd put up last week. She stopped, looked at them. Tried to see them the way James saw them, beautiful, meaningful, human. Sophie. She turned. James was standing. James was 10 feet away. Suit, tie, phone in hand but not at his ear. Looking at her. Everyone in the lobby could see them, dozens of people. Morning rush. Hi, she said. He walked over. Hi. You're here early. I'm always here early. You're here early. Coffee. I need coffee before facing spreadsheets. I understand that. He was smiling. That smile again. The one that changed his whole face. Tuesday still good? Still good. I'll text you the address. Okay. They were both very aware of everyone watching. The CEO talking to a random employee. People would notice, people would talk. I should go, she said. Yeah, me too. Meetings. Meetings. Neither of them moved. Sophie. What? I'm glad I saw you. Me too. Then he did something bold, took her hand, squeezed it once, let go, smiled, walked toward the elevators. Sophie stood frozen, in the middle of the lobby, heart racing. Maya appeared out of nowhere. Did James Whitmore just hold your hand? So, public, in the lobby, where everyone works? Maybe. That's a statement. That's a she's mine statement. We've had one coffee date. And you have dinner tomorrow, and he just held your hand where everyone could see. That man is claiming territory. He's not a wolf. He's absolutely a wolf, and you're his now. Sophie looked back. James was at the elevator. He looked back too, met her eyes, smiled again before the doors closed. I'm in trouble, Sophie whispered. You're in love, Maya said. It's been 3 days. Time is irrelevant. You're in love. I'm not in love. Keep telling yourself that. Across the lobby, standing near the coffee bar, Vanessa Pierce watched the entire exchange, watched James hold Sophie's hand, watched Sophie's face light up, watched Maya's excited reaction. She pulled out her phone, texted her colleague. They're definitely together, hand-holding in the lobby, public display. Response. Already? How long have they been seeing each other? Vanessa. Since Friday. The elevator thing. Response. That's fast. Vanessa. Too fast. Something's off. I'm going to find out what. She put her phone away, walked to the elevators, pressed the button for 12. Same floor as Sophie. This was going to be interesting. Tuesday arrived. Sophie changed outfits 4 times, settled on a dress. Simple, black. Maya approved. James picked her up at 7 exactly, in a car, with a driver. Because of course he had a driver. This is fancy, she said, sliding into the back seat. Too fancy? I'm deciding. He smiled. Let me know when you've decided. The restaurant was nice. Not over-the-top fancy, just nice, quiet, intimate, corner table, candles. You really thought about this, she said. I wanted it to be right. It's right. They ordered wine, food, appetizers, the works. And then they talked, really talked. The way they'd talked in the elevator. No walls, no pretending. He told her about his father, how he died, how James had to grow up overnight, take over a company he wasn't ready for, make decisions that affected hundreds of people. I spent the first 2 years terrified I'd destroy everything he built, James said. Every decision felt like I was guessing. Every meeting felt like I was pretending to know what I was doing. But you didn't destroy it, you grew it. I got lucky and I worked constantly. 18-hour days, no weekends, no life outside work, just meetings and deals and buildings. That's lonely. It is. I wake up in an apartment that's really just a hotel room I own. I eat breakfast alone. I work all day surrounded by people who work for me. I come home alone, and the next day I do it again. James, I'm not asking for pity. I chose this. I could have sold the company, walked away, but I didn't want to let my father down, even though he's gone. She reached across the table, took his hand. He wouldn't be disappointed. He'd be proud. You didn't know him. I know you, and if you're anything like him, he'd be proud. He looked at their hands, her hand in his. I haven't talked about this in years. Why not? Because people don't care. Or they think I'm complaining. Poor billionaire, so lonely, so hard. I don't think that. I know. That's why I'm telling you. She squeezed his hand. Tell me more. So he did. Everything, his fears, his doubts, his dreams of maybe one day doing something besides work, maybe traveling, Maybe actually living instead of just existing. And she told him about her art. The real story. How she'd wanted to be an artist since she was 8. How she'd gone to art school. How she'd graduated with honors and no job prospects. How she'd taken the corporate design job to pay bills. How she'd started leaving anonymous art in the building lobby because she needed to create something. Anything. Even if no one knew it was hers. "Wait," he said. "Go back." "What?" "The lobby art. You said you leave." Her heart stopped. "I said I used to." "Sophie, are you the artist?" She couldn't lie, not to him, not after everything. "Yes," he stared at her. "You're the artist. I'm the artist. The art I've been looking at for over a year. The art that makes me feel human. The art I told you about in the elevator. That's you. That's me." He was very quiet, processing. "Are you mad?" she asked. "Mad? Sophie, He stopped, laughed, shook his head. "I fell in love with your art before I knew you. I fell in love with you in an elevator. And now I find out they're the same person. That's not making me mad. That's making me realize I've been falling for you in different ways for a very long time." Her breath caught. "James, too much? Too fast? Tell me if it's too much." "It's not too much. Are you sure? Kiss me." "What? Kiss me right now before I overthink this." He stood up, came around the table. She stood up too, and he kissed her. Right there in the restaurant, in front of everyone. Soft at first, then deeper. Like he'd been waiting for this since the elevator. Since before the elevator, maybe. When they pulled apart, they were both breathless. "That would," she started. "Yeah. We should probably sit down. People are staring." "I don't care." "James, sit." He sat. She sat. Both smiling, both flushed, both completely aware that everything had just shifted. "So," he said, "you're the artist. I'm the artist. I want to hire you. Put your work in every building I own. I have a job. Keep the job. Do this on the side. I'll pay you real money, not exposure, actual money. James, you're talented. You should be getting paid for it. I don't want you to hire me because we're dating. I'm hiring you because you're brilliant. We're dating because I'm lucky." She smiled. That was smooth. "I have my moments." They finished dinner, talked for 3 more hours about everything, about nothing, about the art, about his buildings, about her brother, about his father, about their lives and their dreams and their fears. When the restaurant started closing, they finally left. He drove her home, walked her to her door, kissed her again. Slower this time. Sweeter. "Can I see you this weekend?" he asked. "Yes." "And next week?" "Yes." "And the week after that?" "You're very good at planning ahead. I'm very good at knowing what I want." "And what do you want?" "You. This. All of it." She kissed him again. "Then you can have it." The next 2 weeks passed in a blur. Coffee dates, lunch dates, dinner dates, walks in the park, movies, museums. Every moment they could steal. He started visiting floor 12, bringing her coffee, making excuses about building inspections. Everyone noticed, everyone talked. Maya was thrilled. "This is the best thing that's ever happened in this building." Vanessa was less thrilled. "Must be nice, having the owner's attention." Sophie ignored her, focused on James, on the way he looked at her, the way he listened, the way he made her feel seen. 3 weeks after the elevator, James hosted a building event, quarterly tenant mixer, Whitmore Tower conference room, open bar, networking, all the building's businesses represented. Sophie went with the Meridian creative team, Maya by her side. "He's going to be here," Maya whispered. "In his CEO mode. Are you ready?" "It's just an event." "It's the first public event since you started dating. This is a test." "A test of what?" "Of whether he treats you different in public." Sophie scanned the room, found him, near the windows, talking to a group of executives, suit, tie, professional mode, every inch the CEO. Then he saw her. Their eyes met across the room, and his entire expression softened. He excused himself, walked straight to her, everyone watching. "Hi," he said, "hi. You came. I work in the building, kind of required. Still, I'm glad you're here." He looked at Maya. "Hi, Maya." "Hi, Mr. Whitmore. James, please." "James." He turned back to Sophie. "Can I steal you for a minute?" "Sure." He took her hand, led her to a quieter corner, away from the crowd. "This okay?" he asked. "Everyone's watching." "I noticed. Do you care?" "Do you?" "No, but I care if you do." She smiled. "I don't care." "Good, because I want to kiss you and I don't want to wait until we're alone." "James, we're at a work event." "I know. Your work event. I know that too. People will talk. Let them talk." Then he kissed her, right there, in front of 200 people, in front of her colleagues, in front of his business partners, in front of everyone. And Sophie kissed him back, because she didn't care either, because this was real, because she was falling, had already fallen maybe. When they pulled apart, the room had gone quiet, everyone watching, everyone knowing. "That was a statement," she whispered. "That was the truth," he said. "Yeah, back." Across the room, standing near the bar, Vanessa's expression was cold, calculating. She pulled out her phone, started typing, making plans. This wasn't over, not even close. Monday morning, 4 weeks after the elevator. Sophie walked into the building at 8:30. James was already in the lobby. He saw her, smiled, walked over. "Good morning," he said. "Morning. Coffee later? I have meetings until noon, but I'm free at 12:30. I have a deadline." 1:30? She smiled. 1:30 works. He kissed her cheek, right there. Morning rush. Dozens of people watching. Then he walked toward the elevators, turned back once, smiled again, disappeared into the crowd. Sophie stood there, heart racing, face warm. Maya appeared. "He just kissed you in the lobby during morning rush." "I noticed." Everyone noticed. That man is not subtle. He's really not. How does it feel, dating the building owner? Terrifying, amazing, completely insane. But good? Really good. They walked toward the elevators. Sophie pressed the button for 12. Behind them, Vanessa stepped into a different elevator. Watched the doors close between them. Her expression was cold. She pulled out her phone, texted her colleague. "Today. I'm doing it today." Response: "You sure?" Vanessa: "Positive. This has gone on long enough." The elevator ride to 12 felt longer than usual. Sophie checked her phone. Text from James. "James, already missing you and you left 30 seconds ago. This is pathetic." Sophie smiled. Typed back, "It's sweet." James: "Sweet and pathetic?" Sophie: "The best combination." James: "See you at 1:30. I'll bring real coffee, not the break room disaster." Sophie: "My hero." She put her phone away, smiled to herself. 4 weeks. 4 weeks since the elevator, and it still felt like a dream. A really good dream she didn't want to wake up from. The morning passed quickly. Designs, revisions, client feedback, the usual. At 12:45, Sophie headed to the break room. Early. She wanted to grab water before James arrived. The break room was empty. She went to the refrigerator, pulled out her water bottle. "Sophie," she turned. Vanessa was standing in the doorway. Another designer behind her. Mark, Vanessa's work friend. "Hey," Sophie said. "Can we talk?" Vanessa asked. Her voice was friendly, too friendly. "I'm actually meeting someone." "This'll just take a second." Vanessa walked closer. Mark stayed in the doorway, blocking it slightly. "I wanted to ask you something. About James." Sophie's stomach tightened. "What about him? How did it happen? You and him? I'm just curious." One day you're a designer. The next day you're dating the building owner. That's quite a jump. We got stuck in an elevator. Right, the elevator. That was so convenient. It was a power outage, not convenient, just timing. Timing? Vanessa smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Come on, Sophie, you can tell me. Oh, between us, did you actually get stuck in that elevator, or was that your way of getting his attention? Sophie's blood went cold. What? I'm not judging. I'm impressed, actually. If it worked, I need to try it. Does maintenance take requests? Vanessa, what are you talking about? I'm just saying. The timing was perfect. Stuck in an elevator with the one man in the building who could change your career, and now look at you. Coffee dates, dinner dates, hand-holding in the lobby. He visits your floor, he brings you coffee. That's not coincidence. That's strategy. Sophie's hands were shaking. You think I planned the power outage? I think you're smarter than you look. Mark shifted uncomfortably in the doorway. Vanessa, maybe we should What? Vanessa's voice was louder now, intentionally louder. I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. The elevator girl and James Whitmore. It's a good story, very rom-com, but come on, nobody's that lucky. In the hallway, James stopped walking. He'd been heading to the break room. Early, wanted to surprise Sophie. He heard Vanessa's voice, heard Sophie's name, heard elevator girl. He stepped closer to the doorway, listening. You don't know anything about what happened in that elevator? Sophie said. Her voice was tight, controlled. Then tell me, Vanessa said. Tell me it was real. Tell me you didn't see an opportunity and take it. Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you found a very effective way to climb the corporate ladder. I'm not climbing anything. I'm dating someone I care about. Right? Someone who happens to own the building? Someone who could give you better projects, better clients, better everything, but that's just coincidence. Sophie saw him, in the hallway just outside the door. James, standing there, listening. His face was unreadable, their eyes met. Sophie's heart stopped. How long had he been standing there? What had he heard? Did he think Vanessa was right? She couldn't do this, not here, not now, not with him watching and Vanessa smirking and everyone about to hear this. She walked toward the door, toward James. He stepped back. Not much, just enough. Sophia, he started. I have to go, she said. Didn't look at him, couldn't look at him, walked past him down the hallway. Sophie, wait. She didn't wait, kept walking, to the stairs, down, away, anywhere but here. Behind her, she heard Vanessa's voice, sweet, innocent. Mr. Whitmore, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were there. I was just asking Sophie about how you two met. I didn't mean to cause a problem. James didn't respond. He was watching Sophie disappear down the stairwell. She was running, from him, from the conversation, from everything. He started to follow, then stopped, because something Vanessa said was sitting wrong. Does maintenance take requests? Like she'd planned it. Like Sophie had planned it. No, Sophie wouldn't. She'd hated him for 18 months. She'd been hostile in that elevator for the first hour. That wasn't strategy. That was real. But the doubt crept in anyway. The voice that always told him he wasn't good enough, that people only wanted him for his money, his position, his buildings. He pulled out his phone, texted, "Can we talk?" Stared at the screen, waiting, no response. He walked back to his office, closed the door, sat at his desk. The doubt was small, tiny, but it was there, and Sophie was gone. Sophie sat on a bench 3 blocks from the building, phone in her hand, watching his text appear. James, can we talk? She stared at it, fingers hovering over the keyboard. What was she supposed to say? That she saw his face and assumed he believed Vanessa? That she saw doubt there? That she panicked and ran? Or worse, what if there was no doubt? What if he was texting because he was being nice? Because he felt bad for her, the elevator girl? That's what Vanessa called her, and that's she'd become. The girl who got stuck with the CEO and somehow ended up dating him. The girl everyone would whisper about. The girl who didn't earn anything, just got lucky. Her phone rang. James. She didn't answer. It rang again. She turned it off. By late afternoon, Maya found her, still sitting on the bench, still staring at her turned-off phone. "There you are," Maya said. "I've been looking everywhere. James is looking for you too. I don't want to see him." What happened? So Sophie told her. Everything. Vanessa's comments. James in the hallway, the look on his face, walking away. The texts she didn't answer. Maya listened, then said, "You're being stupid." "Excuse me?" "You're being stupid. You saw his face and assumed he believed her. Did he say he believed her?" "He didn't have to. I saw the doubt. Or you saw confusion, or concern, or him trying to process what Vanessa was saying. You don't know what he was thinking because you ran away." "I didn't run away. You literally ran away, down the stairs, away from him. That's the definition of running away." Sophie was quiet. "He texted you," Maya continued. "He called you. That's not doubt. That's him trying to understand why you left." What if everyone thinks what Vanessa thinks? What if I'm just the elevator girl, the girl who got lucky? Who cares what everyone thinks? I care. Why? Why do you care? You know the truth. He knows the truth. Vanessa's jealous and bitter, and that's her problem, not yours. It doesn't feel that simple. It is that simple. You're in love with him. He's in love with you. Everything else is noise. But you have to talk to him. You have to give him a chance to explain. You have to trust him. What if he doesn't want to talk to me anymore? Then I'm marching into his office right now and fixing this myself. Maya. No, you listen to me. I've watched you be miserable for exactly... She checked her watch. 6 hours. That's 6 hours too. That's long. Either you go talk to him or I do. Your choice. Sophie looked at her friend. What would you even say? Everything you're too scared to say. That you love him. That you panicked. That Vanessa is a bitter witch who's jealous because she's been trying to get his attention for months and failed. That you're sorry for running. That you want to fix this. I can't just... Yes, you can, and you will. Come on. Maya pulled her up from the bench. We're going back to the building right now. Maya. Now, Sophie, before you talk yourself out of it again. They walked back to Whitmore Tower. Sophie's heart was pounding. Her hands were shaking. Maya led her to the lobby. His office is on 30. Go, I'll wait here. What if he doesn't want to see me? Then you make him want to see you. Go. Sophie took the elevator, alone, to 30. Each floor felt like a mile. The doors opened. His assistant's desk. Catherine looked up. Sophie, he's in his office. He's... Now. You can go right in. Sophie walked to his door, knocked. Come in. She opened it. James was at his desk, looked up, saw her, stood immediately. Sophie. Hi. You came. I did. They stared at each other, neither moving. I'm sorry, she said, for running, for not answering, for assuming the worst. You saw my face. I saw your face and I thought you believed her, that you doubted me. He walked around the desk, closer. For about 3 seconds I wondered, just for a moment. Because I've spent my whole life with people wanting something from me, my money, my buildings, my name. And then I remembered who you are. Who am I? You're the woman who hated me for 18 months over a food truck. That's not strategy. That's stubbornly holding a grudge over something you cared about. That's passion. That's real. And I should have said that in the hallway instead of just standing there. I saw doubt on your face. You saw confusion. You saw me trying to process what Vanessa was saying. But I never doubted you. I doubted myself. I doubted whether I deserved you. But I never doubted you. She was trying not to cry. I thought I was just the elevator girl, the girl everyone would whisper about. You're not the elevator girl. You're Sophie. You're the woman whose art I fell in love with before I knew her. You're the woman who made 3 hours in an elevator feel like 3 minutes. You're the woman who sees me, really sees me, not the building owner, not the CEO, just me. James, I love you, he said. I should have said it before. I'm saying it now. I love you, and I don't care what Vanessa thinks. Or what anyone thinks. I care what you think. I love you too. Yeah? Yes, and I'm sorry for running, for not trusting you, for all of it. He pulled her close, kissed her, long, deep, perfect. When they pulled apart, they were both smiling. So we're okay? He asked. We're okay. Good, because I about to do something dramatic. What? I don't know. I was planning it. Maya Chen showed up at my office an hour ago. She did? Marched right in. Called me an idiot. Said if I didn't fix this, she would. Then she told me exactly where you'd be and exactly what to do. Sophie laughed. She came here? Took me apart completely. Said you were miserable and I was miserable and we were both being stupid. She was right. She usually is. She's terrifying. She's the best friend I've ever had. She loves you almost as much as I do. Sophie smiled. Almost. No one loves you as much as I do. That's intense. Too intense? No, perfect. He kissed her again, then said, There's someone I need you to talk to. Who? Vanessa. Sophie's expression darkened. James, not to fight, not to argue, just to look her in the eye and show her she didn't win. I don't need to do that. I think you do. I think you need to face her. Show her you're not running anymore. Show her you're not ashamed. Show her she has no power here. Sophie was quiet for a moment, then nodded. You're right. Come on. They rode the elevator down together, to 12, to the Meridian Creative floor. Vanessa was at her desk, saw them coming. Her expression shifted, uncertain. Sophie walked over. James stayed a few steps behind. This was hers. Vanessa, Sophie said. Sophie, elevator girl, that was creative. I don't know what you... Save it, Sophie smiled. Here's the thing about elevators. Sometimes they break, and sometimes when they break, you find exactly what you were looking for. I found James. You're still looking, and that's not my problem, it's yours. Vanessa said nothing, just stared. One more thing, Sophie continued. My relationship with James is none of your business. What happened in that elevator is none of your business, and if you have a problem with any of it, take it up with HR, not with me. She turned, walked back to James. He smiled, proud. They walked to the elevators together. Vanessa watched them go, and Sophie realized something. The grudge she'd held against James for 18 months? Vanessa had given her a new one, but this time she didn't need it. She didn't need grudges anymore. She had something better. She had him. That felt good, she said in the elevator. You were incredible. I was terrified. You hit it well. Years of death-glaring practice. Intimidation skills are transferable. He laughed, kissed her. What do you want to do now? I want to go home, order food, forget this day happened, start over tomorrow. Our place or yours? Ours, he smiled. I like the sound of that. That evening they sat on his couch, their couch, eating takeout, watching nothing in particular. James, Sophie said. Yeah? Thank you. For not believing her, for trusting me, for fighting for this. Always. I mean it. Today was, she stopped. Today was hard. But you showed up. You believed me. That means everything. Sophie, I will always show up. I will always believe you, and I will always fight for us, no matter what. Even when I run away like an idiot. Especially then. She leaned against him. I love you. I love you too. They sat in comfortable silence, the kind only they had, the kind that said everything without words. Outside the sun was setting, the city was glowing, and inside their apartment everything was right again. The crisis had lasted 6 hours, start to finish, 6 hours of doubt and fear and running. But it was over now. They were okay. They were more than okay. They were exactly where they were supposed to be. The next morning, Sophie woke up to texts from Maya. Maya, are you two okay? Maya, please tell me you're okay. Maya, I will come over there. Sophie smiled, typed back, we're perfect, thank you for the intervention. Maya, always. That's what best friends do. Now go back to being disgustingly happy. Sophie looked over. James was still asleep, hair messy, face peaceful. Perfect. She whispered to herself. My death glare evolved into something else, into this, into love. I can hear you, he mumbled, eyes still closed. I know. I wanted you to. He opened one eye, smiled. Good morning. Good morning. Are we okay? Really okay? Really okay. Good. Because I have something planned for this weekend. What? It's a surprise. I don't like surprises. You'll like this one. Promise? Promise. She kissed him. Okay. I trust you. Good. Because what I'm planning is going to change everything. Should I be worried? No. You should be excited. She studied his face. He was nervous, happy, hiding something. James, what are you planning? You'll see. Saturday, 6 p.m. Meet me in the lobby. The building lobby? The building lobby. Why do I feel like I'm walking into something? Because you're smart and suspicious and you know me too well. She laughed. Fine. Saturday, 6 p.m. Lobby, I'll be there. Good. He kissed her. Long, slow, perfect. And Sophie knew. Whatever he was planning, whatever surprise was coming, it was going to be good. Because they'd survived the crisis, they'd faced the doubt, they'd come out stronger, and now they could face anything. Together. 3 months later. Sophie woke up in James's apartment, their apartment now. She'd officially moved in 2 weeks ago. Half her art supplies in his office, her coffee mugs in his kitchen, her chaos mixing with his order. Perfect chaos, perfect order. She rolled over. He was already awake, sitting up in bed, working on his laptop, always working. You're doing it again, she said. What? Robot mode. It's 7 a.m. on a Saturday. The laptop should be illegal. I'm finishing something. You're always finishing something. He closed the laptop, pulled her closer, kissed her. Better? Much better. I have a question. Dangerous start? Can you meet me in the building lobby today? 6 p.m.? Why? I want to show you something. What? It's a surprise. I don't like surprises. You'll like this one. Promise? Promise. She studied his face. He looked nervous, excited, hiding something. James, what are you planning? Nothing. I just want to show you something in the building. We live in that building now. I see it every day. This is different, trust me. Always. He kissed her again. 6 p.m. Lobby. Don't be late. Why do I feel like I'm walking into something? Because you're smart and suspicious and you know me too well. That's what I thought. The day passed slowly. Sophie tried to focus on her art. She was working on a new series for James's buildings. Professional commission. Real money. Her name on gallery walls and lobby installations across the city. Dreams coming true in ways she never expected. But she couldn't concentrate, kept checking, kept the clock, kept wondering what James was planning. At 5:45, she headed to the lobby. Early, nervous, curious. The lobby was empty. Saturday evening, most people gone, just building security. And James, standing near the elevator bank, wearing jeans, a sweater, looking nervous. "You're early?" he said. "You're predictable." "Am I?" "You've been planning something all day. You had that look." "What look?" "The I'm hiding something and trying to act casual look. You're terrible at it." He smiled. "Noted. Come on." He led her to the elevator, pressed the button, the doors opened. They stepped inside. He pressed the button for 12. Her old floor, then 30. His floor. Then he reached over and pressed the emergency stop button. The elevator lurched, stopped. Emergency lights came on, dim, red, just like before. Sophie's heart stopped. "Did you just trap me in an elevator?" "I did." "On purpose?" "Very much on purpose." "James, that's insane." "I know. We could have just talked in the apartment." "Where's the romance in that?" She was trying not to smile. "You planned a power outage?" "I planned a controlled elevator stop. I own the building. I have control over these things." "That's an abuse of power." "It's a romantic gesture." "It's both." He pulled a bag from behind his back. Where had that been? "I brought sandwiches, no shellfish." She laughed. "You prepared. I learned from last time. 3 hours is a long time without food." "We're not staying here for 3 hours. We're staying here as long as it takes." "As long as what takes?" He took her hand, pulled her down to sit on the elevator floor. Just like the first time, backs against opposite walls, facing each other. "I've been thinking," he said. "Dangerous. About the first time we were stuck here 4 months ago. Power outage. You hated me. I didn't know you existed. And then for 3 hours we just talked. Really talked. No walls, no pretending, just truth. I remember. That was the best 3 hours of my life. James, let me finish. Those 3 hours changed everything. I met you, really met you, not the designer on 12, not the woman who glared at me, the real you, the artist, the sister. The woman who holds grudges over food trucks and talks to herself and makes art that reminds me why life is worth living." Her eyes were filling with tears. "James, I fell in love with your art before I knew you. I fell in love with you in this elevator. And every single day since then I've fallen more in love with both. With all of you. The art and the person, the chaos and the beauty, everything. Where are you going with this?" He shifted, pulled something from his pocket, a small box, opened it, a ring. Simple, beautiful, perfect. "Sophie Martinez," he said, "will you spend 3,000 more hours trapped with me? 3,000 more days? 3,000 more conversations where we're honest and real and completely ourselves?" She whispered to herself, "Say yes. Just say yes. Don't cry. Don't overthink. "I can hear you," he said softly. She laughed through tears. "I know. Yes. Obviously yes. Yeah? Yes, I'll marry you. I'll spend 3,000 hours with you, 3,000 days, all of it." He slid the ring onto her finger, then kissed her. Soft, sweet, perfect. When they pulled apart, they were both crying, both smiling, both exactly where they were supposed to be. "You trapped me in an elevator to propose," she said. "Seemed appropriate. It's perfect. I hate that it's perfect. You love that it's perfect. I do. I love you. I love you too." The elevator started moving, smooth, controlled. He'd programmed it. Of course he had. The doors opened, ground floor, lobby, and there were people there. Maya, James's assistant Catherine, a few close friends, all holding champagne glasses, smiling, waiting. "You invited people?" Sophie asked. I wanted them to know right away that you said yes. Maya rushed over. You said yes, right? Please tell me you said yes. Sophie held up her hand. Showed the ring. Maya screamed, actually screamed. I called it. I called it 4 months ago. I said you were in a rom-com. You were right. I'm always right. It's my gift. James pulled Sophie close. There's one more thing. More? Look outside. She looked through the lobby windows. To the plaza, the food truck, their food truck, parked outside, lit up, open. I hired them for the engagement party, James said. Shellfish-free menu, obviously. Sophie was crying again, happy tears, overwhelmed tears. You brought back the food truck. Our food truck. Our food truck. Compromise? Perfect compromise. They walked outside, to the truck, ordered tacos, stood in the plaza with their friends, celebrating, laughing, living. This is insane, Sophie said. This is us. Dramatic and public and slightly crazy. Exactly right. 6 months later. The lobby of Whitmore Tower was transformed. White flowers, string lights, chairs arranged in rows, Sophie's art displayed on every wall, professional installations, gallery quality, her name everywhere. The wedding was small, intimate, just close friends and family. Maya as maid of honor, James's assistant Catherine standing up for him. And in the plaza, visible through the floor-to-ceiling windows, the food truck, catering the reception, Sophie's idea. James had laughed for 10 minutes when she suggested it, then immediately called the vendor. Sophie stood in a small room off the lobby, wearing a simple white dress, holding a bouquet, Maya adjusting her veil. You're getting married, Maya said, to the man you hated for 2 years. 18 months. I'm rounding up. You're getting married in the lobby where he hung your art, with food truck catering. This is the most ridiculous romantic thing I've ever witnessed. It's perfect. It really is. Maya hugged her. I'm so happy for you. Thank you for everything, for telling me I was being stupid, for making James get his act together, for being there. Always. That's what best friends do. Maya stepped back. Ready? Ready. The ceremony was short, sweet, honest. They stood facing each other, in front of the art, in front of everyone. The officiant spoke, they barely heard, too focused on each other, then the vows. James went first. Sophie, I promise to always listen. Even when you're muttering to yourself, especially when you're muttering to yourself, I promise to support your art, your dreams, your chaos. I promise to bring you coffee, to text you from 2 feet away, to trap you in elevators when you least expect it. Everyone laughed. I promise to never ban another food truck, to compromise, to see you, really see you every single day, the way I saw you that first day in the elevator, the real you, the beautiful you, the you that changed my life. Sophie was crying, happy tears. Maya handed her a tissue. Your turn, the officiant said. Sophie took a breath. James, I promise to keep making you malfunction, to remind you you're human, not a robot, or an advanced robot, just human, beautiful, real. I promise to leave art in random places for you to find, to hold reasonable grudges for reasonable amounts of time, and I promise to only death glare you when you really deserve it. Laughter rippled through the crowd. Maya wiped her eyes. I promise to sit on elevator floors with you, to eat food truck tacos with you, to build a life with you that's messy and beautiful and honest. I promise to love you the way I've loved you since the moment the power went out. Completely, hopelessly, forever. James was crying too, not hiding it, not trying to. The rings, the officiant said. They exchanged rings, simple bands, matching, perfect. By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss. James kissed her. Long, sweet, perfect. The lobby erupted in applause, just like the first time he kissed her there, just like the grand gesture, coming full circle. When they pulled apart, everyone was cheering. Maya was crying. Catherine was smiling. Daniel, Sophie's brother, was recording everything on his phone. They walked down the aisle, through the lobby, out to the plaza, to the food truck. "Mr. and Mrs. Whitmore," the vendor said. "Congratulations. First tacos are on the house." "Thank you," James said, "for coming back, for being part of this. Wouldn't miss it. Best wedding catering gig I've ever had." They ate tacos, danced in the plaza, celebrated surrounded by art and food trucks and string lights and love. As the sun set, James pulled Sophie aside. "Want to see something?" "What?" He led her back inside, to the elevator. They stepped in alone. He pressed the emergency stop. The elevator stopped. Emergency lights came on. Red. Familiar. Perfect. "Again?" she asked. "One more time. Just us." They sat on the floor, backs against opposite walls, just like the beginning. 3 hours? She asked. 3 minutes, then we have a reception to get back to. 3 minutes. They sat in comfortable silence, the kind only they shared, the kind that said everything without words. "Sophie?" James said. "Yeah? I'm really glad that elevator broke." "Me too. Even though we fought, even though we almost messed it up." "We didn't mess it up. We just had moments. Good moments. The best moments." He reached across the small space, took her hand. 3,000 more hours. 3,000 more days. 3,000 more elevator rides? "At least," she murmured softly, to herself. "I can't believe I married the man who banned my food truck." "I can hear you," he said. "I know," she smiled. "I love you." "I love you too." The elevator started moving. He'd programmed it again, of course he had. 3 minutes, exactly. Then back to the lobby, back to the reception, back to their life. The doors opened. Music, laughter, their friends, their future, everything waiting. They stepped out, hand in hand, Mr. and Mrs. Whitmore, the elevator girl and the CEO, the artist and the robot, the grudge holder and the food truck banner. Perfect, ridiculous, completely them. Maya appeared with champagne. "Speech time. You're both giving speeches." "We didn't prepare speeches," Sophie said. "Then make them up. This is your wedding, your story. Tell it." James took the microphone, tapped it. Everyone quieted. "Most of you know how Sophie and I met," he said. "Power outage, stuck elevator, 3 hours of forced conversation. What you might not know is that Sophie had been death glaring at me for 18 months before that day. I had no idea, completely oblivious." Laughter. "She hated me. I mean really hated me. Over a food truck, which seems dramatic until you understand it was a really good food truck." More laughter. "But then the power went out, and she couldn't escape and I couldn't hide, and for 3 hours we were just honest. No walls, no pretending, just two people talking. And I fell in love. With her wit, her honesty, her art, her chaos, everything." He looked at Sophie. "I thought I was lonely before I met her. Turns out I was just waiting for the elevator to break, for the power to fail, for her to finally have to talk to me. Best 3 hours of my life, and every 3 hours since then has been even better." He handed her the microphone. Sophie took it, looked at everyone, at the art, at the food truck visible through windows, at James standing next to her. "I'm not good at speeches," she said. "I'm better at art and grudges. I'm very good at grudges, but James already covered the grudge story, so I'll just say this. Sometimes the worst day turns into the best day. Sometimes getting stuck is exactly where you need to be. Sometimes the person you think you hate is the person you've been waiting for all along." She looked at James. "Thank you for trapping me in that elevator, and thank you for trapping me again for the proposal, and thank you for being you, the advanced robot with feelings, The man who sees my art and sees me. The man who brought back my food truck and hung my art and made me believe in happy endings. She handed back the microphone, kissed him, everyone cheered. The rest of the evening passed in a blur. Dancing, laughing, tacos, champagne, Maya's embarrassing maid of honor speech. Daniel's brother's speech that made everyone cry. Catherine's toast about how James had been impossible to work for until Sophie came along. As the night wound down, Sophie and James stood by the windows, watching the plaza, the food truck packing up, the lights starting to dim. "Ready to go home?" he asked. "Ready." They said their goodbyes, thanked everyone, hugged Maya, who was still crying, promised Daniel they'd visit soon, then they walked to the elevator. One more time, together, the doors closed, just the two of them. He didn't press emergency stop this time, just pressed 30, their floor, their apartment, their life. "Mrs. Whitmore," he said. "Mr. Whitmore, how does it feel?" "Perfect, ridiculous, everything." The elevator rose. Up, up, up. "James," she said. "Yeah?" "Thank you for everything, for seeing me, for fighting for me, for loving me. Thank you for giving up your grudge. Best decision I ever made. Second best." "What's first?" "Saying yes, in this elevator, when I asked you to marry me. That was a pretty good decision. The best." The elevator reached 30. The doors opened. They stepped out, into the hallway, toward home. Behind them, the elevator doors closed. The elevator descended, back to the lobby. Ready for Monday morning. Ready for new people, new stories, new beginnings. But none would be quite like theirs. The power outage, the grudge, the art, the food. Truck, the 3 hours that changed everything. Their story, perfect, ridiculous, completely theirs. What did you think of Sophie and James's story? Let us know in the comments. Rate this story from 0 to 10. What score would you give it? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to catch all our stories. And check out more emotional stories by clicking right here on the end screen.